I woke up this morning just as annoyed as when I went to sleep last night. I even tried to make myself feel better by doing some Christmas cards. But every time I signed my name, I remember signing my name to vote, and that this woman threatened my very livelihood and my ability to vote. Why are y'all not outraged? Why? The main comment I got yesterday, either on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, doesn't matter. The main comment that you see, had this been a Republican, the Democrats would have blowed it up. Darling, why ain't you blowing this up? Not one share. I looked through my Facebook and Instagram yesterday. Other than 3 people, I did not see one person share her video or comment about her video or be outraged at this. People, she threatened the very constitutional right we stand on. She is a Nazi. She has Nazi ideas and refuses to apologize. According to the Washington Post this morning, she wanted to clarify that she never threatened President Trump. Well, of course you didn't, you numbnut. We're well aware of that. Well aware of that. You threatened us. You threatened every person in the United States that voted. And how you voted this time is irrelevant. What if she decides next time you didn't vote the way she wanted to? You then become the target. In the 1930s, that's how Adolf Hitler got control, with his brown coats. You don't do what we say, and they'll come visit you. He called to action. That was her words. That was her words. She didn't threaten anybody. She just called to action. Well, honey, I'm calling to action. Where is the gutless wonder of a district attorney in Michigan, in her area? The gutless attorney general of Michigan. Or even take it a little bit higher. Why hasn't our federal attorney just not coming unglued over this? Y'all are all just, everything you read on Facebook is about this election. People, if her line of thinking is allowed to continue, you won't have an election. Do you think the elections in Venezuela are free? That you can go vote how you want? No, they're not. They're now under a dictatorship. Do you think people in Cuba get to vote? No. No, they don't. In the 1940s and the 30s, did Germany get to vote? No, they didn't. Does North Korea get to vote? Yes. You just better vote the way they tell you to. Why are y'all not outraged over this? According to the Washington Post, over 100 phone calls. 100 phone calls to the lawmaker's office. 100. Just 100. I was one of them. Where is Ted Cruz? Where are you? Where is Ron Paul? You are such a constitutionalist. Where are you? Hunkering in a bunker somewhere? Enjoying your spoils from your time in the Senate? Where are y'all? Not the Senate, the House. Where are y'all? Why are you not outraged? Why is there not millions of videos floating around in utter outrage over what this woman said? And just to be clear, I don't want violence. I don't want violence. I want this handled the way our Constitution says it needs to be handled. I want this handled the way the Michigan laws says it's to be handled. This is not First Amendment. This is not, she can come off all she wants. This is not First Amendment. And she refuses to apologize. All she did was clarify that she didn't threaten President Trump, and she did, and I'll agree with her that. She threatened every woman and child in the United States that didn't vote the way she wanted you to. Watch my step? Really? Watch my step? I think that's what the KKK told people back in the early 30s. I remember a time when black people were not allowed to vote because of their skin color. I don't remember the time in my mind. I don't. Let me clarify that. I'm not old enough to remember. But I studied it. I did book reports over it when I was in high school. Racism is appalling to me. Beyond appalling to me. See this? I am a red-blooded American. My skin color has nothing to do with it. I am a red-blooded American, and a tyrannistic, terroristic threat from a sitting representative has threatened American citizens. Why are y'all not outraged? Why? Had this been the Democrats, they would have eaten this woman up and spit her out if a Republican had said something like that. So my question is, where are you? Why are you not outraged? Why have you not taken to Twitter and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook? Why is every national news media not reporting about hundreds how they crashed a phone system because they called in outrage? Let me be specific. I am not calling anybody to violence at all. I don't believe in violence. There is a time and place for it. This is not it. Our laws were laid down to protect us from people like this Nazi and her little brown coats that she's calling to action. Well, I'm calling to action every red-blooded American in the United States. I'm calling you to action. I don't care who you voted for. It is irrelevant who you voted for. The fact someone would threaten an American because they didn't vote the way you wanted them to vote. This woman is trying to remove your constitutional rights by threatening you with her. What did she call them? I don't remember the exact words she used. Why? Why are y'all not outraged? You don't have to share my video. I'm not wanting to be some famous person. But I am asking, where are you? Republicans, where are you? People that voted, and you don't even have to be Republican. Independents, where are you? How long is it going to be before someone gets up and says, now, if you vote independent, we know who you are? These list keepers in Washington and in state government, people, it is a threat to our very Constitution. These people that get up there and say, we know who you are. Conservatives, we know who you are. Really? Really? That doesn't just make your blood boil? Come on, people. Quit arguing over an election. The election is what it is. I'm not getting into where it was legal, illegal, or what. They're arguing over whether an election was accurate. This woman's trying to take away your right to vote, period. By threats. How can you not get that? How can you not get that? So what if next time she decides who she wants to run and you disagree? All of a sudden, her people that she's called to action may come visit you. It might be you she's decided to attack. Come on, people. The phones in Michigan State Capitol should be blowing up. It should crash their system. The number of people from the United States demanding her resignation. I don't want to go through an impeachment trial with her. She should be demanded to resign. The people in Michigan, I know there's smart people up there. I know there is. Democrats, Republican, I don't care what you are. You've got to be an intelligent person up there. My nephew worked for a company up there, so I know there's intelligent life up there. Why are y'all not just coming unglued at the seams? I'm not going to let this go. I am not going to let this go. This is not a, well, she messed up. Maybe you misunderstood what she said. No, ma'am. I understood exactly what she said. I understood her intention. I understood her video perfectly. And no, she did not threaten President Trump. She's an idiot, but she's not stupid. This is what happens when you put people in office that don't have a clue what our Constitution says. This is what happens. I have been crucified more than once for saying, stop voting for stupid people. Look at who you're voting for. Y'all done made me have a nervous twitch this morning with your lack of doing anything. Do you even know who your state senator is? Who your state representative is? Who your senator in Washington? Who your representative in Washington is? Do you even know who they are? Because I do. Not only do I know them, I have their phone and my number in my phone on speed dial. And I promise you, Michigan will get another phone call from me this morning wanting to know the status. Attorney General Barr, that's why you were put in the position you're in, to deal with women like her. She threatened every American in the United States with her call to action. Well, I am an American, and I'm calling you to action. Do what you took an oath to do. Now, I got to get in a better mood. I had someone ask me yesterday, are you afraid to make those videos? No. No. In the same way the women in the late 1800s fought so hard to vote, for the right to vote, the same way the leaders of the African American people back in the 1950s and 60s, those 12 very courageous young students that walked into that lunchroom and sit their butt down at a lunch counter, knowing what would happen to them. Knowing. But they did it for the greater good. They did it to show they are just as American as anybody else, and they can sit anywhere they want. The same way Miss Rosa Parks walked over and sit on a seat on a bus where she wasn't allowed to. If anything happens to me, and I answered this, if anything happens to me, it just goes to further prove what I said. If you don't vote like we ask you to, like we tell you to, look what we're going to do to you. These people operate in fear. They operate that way. That's how Hitler got control. They had such a fear of their very neighbors, the people that lived next door to them. They had such a fear that someone would turn them into the browncoats for something they did. That is what they're trying to get going in the United States right now. That governor from Oregon that called for you to call and report your neighbor if they have more than 5 people at their house. Hitler did that. It is high time for the silent majority to quit being silent, grow a freaking backbone, and stand up.